Hello, everyone. Good day, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is your channel, Yellow World, and as usual, I'm your host, and my name is Bosman. Once again, like I said, thank you for joining us. We have a special guest, with us today. I'll allow her to introduce herself, but one of the interesting thing with her is how she went through a process of getting her licensing as a lawyer in Canada, which shows that when people say things are impossible, it's because they've not tried. Everything is possible. So I will allow her to introduce herself so that I don't give you so much hint of who she is. So welcome here today, Iphie. Can you introduce yourself or tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Ifeyinwa Echezona, and I'm a practicing lawyer in Canada, Manitoba, Canada, and I also have my license to practice law in Nigeria. And I was called to the Manitoba Bar in 2019, June of 2019, and yeah.
Okay. I know that is very short, but like I said, she came in 2017. By 2019, she was called to bar in Manitoba, which is quite a very impressive feat to achieve. Okay, so we want you to tell us a bit about you and your journey from Nigeria. So
okay.
Yeah.
So in 2016 actually, I decided I wanted to try something new, and I applied to come to Canada, and I finally moved in 2017, in April of 2017, and I started writing my exams in October of 2017, and I finished in April of 2018.
Okay.
And I articled from October of 2018 till May of 2019. I actually got exempted because you're supposed to article for a year, but I got exempted for 6 months because I have like a lot of experience from Nigeria practicing law. Nigeria is a common law jurisdiction, and Canada is a common law jurisdiction as well. So some of the experience I had in Nigeria counted for me in Canada. So I articled for 6 months. I was supposed to actually start earlier. If I was going to do for 1 year, I would have started in June. Yeah, but because I was only going to article for 6 months, I started in October.
That's good. So, I know you said you in 2016 you thought you wanted to do something new, but is that the only motivation in coming to Canada? What is? People have a lot of stories. What was your biggest motivation?
Okay, it's layered actually.
Okay.
My coming to Canada. At first, I wasn't an advocate of moving abroad from Nigeria, but in 2015, the Nigerian government recruited people, and they took the best, and then the sitting president came and said those people were recruited by the old administration and then sent them home after months of training, and they didn't pay any remuneration for those months of training. People lost the jobs they had before they were recruited. People lost their source of livelihood. People didn't get any remuneration for the months that they trained with the Nigerian Immigration Service, and they were sent home, and I was one of them. Because I wanted to work for the government at that point, because I'd been in the private sector all the time, after I was called to bar, and I wanted to do something different, and that was what I got. So I was really unhappy. We protested. I wrote a lot of letters to the the National Assembly, to the president, to whoever was in the corridors of power at the time in Nigeria. We wrote letters to them, and finally we got reinstated. But before we got reinstated, I'd already lost faith in that process, and I said I wanted something new. I didn't want my children to have to go through this. So I said, okay, I was going to come to Canada. And then I wrote IELTS, and fortunately I passed at the first sitting. I had 8.5, and I submitted my application, and 6 months later I got my visa to come to Canada. So basically too, I researched, because I had like Australia or Canada, and then I researched. I know Canada is multicultural. Everyone has an immigrant story, like it could be generations before them, but like essentially everyone has an immigration story in Canada. And like Canada has a good healthcare system, and I feel like generally Canadians are friendlier. So that was, or those were the reasons why I decided to come to Canada. And honestly, I haven't regretted that decision like one bit.
Wow, that's good to know. So I will ask you a follow-up question. So I will say that you should thank the incoming presidents that cancelled your appointment, because if not, you know.
I think it was a blessing in disguise. Exactly. It was actually a blessing in disguise, because I would have been in Nigeria, not breaking new grounds, if not because of that.
Right. Wow. That's interesting. Now, we've talked about how you came, and you were able to achieve so much, within 2 years. I know that for a lot of foreign trained lawyers, not for people from Africa alone, all over the world, they come and they said it's always hard for lawyers to get established, So can you tell us how you were able to achieve this in a very short time?
Okay, I would say the foremost reason why I achieved this in such a very short time was because I had done like in-depth research on what I needed to do to practice law. Like even before I landed in Canada, like the moment I submitted my application, I started researching. I remember like I was speaking to my late dad before I moved to Canada, and then I was telling him, I said, I need to do an assessment, and I need to write some exams, and then article. I honestly didn't know what these processes entailed at the time, but I just knew this was what I needed to do. So I had done all this research. I knew I had to send my transcripts to the Federation of Law Societies of Canada. That's NCA. NCA is the body under FLSC. So I needed to send my transcripts to them. I needed to get the assessment with them, and I would be assessed to write some exams. So I knew that these were the things I needed to do. So like before I left Nigeria, I started doing some of them. And then once I got into Canada, I just hit the ground running, and just started doing them.
Wow, good. So okay, maybe we'll come to that later. So I mean, you came in, you started well, you were able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. My next question is, if you have maybe advice for newcomers in Canada, how can they start right? What are things that they need to look out for, to get it
done?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I would basically have two advice. The first one would be research on what you need to do when you get into Canada. You need to be fully aware of the process you have to go through. I'm not saying that you need to know like everything that you're required to do, but at least try to familiarize yourself with what you need to do. And then secondly, don't let anyone tell you that an exam is too hard or you can't do it, because the way you know you're totally defeated is when you're defeated in your mind. But if you always have that mindset or attitude that you can do just about anything, then of course you can do that. But if you always believe that, I can't do this because this person said I can't do it, or everyone says this exam is so hard, everyone's story is different, and nothing is impossible, really. Nothing is impossible.
That's right. Okay, so for people who are watching who are in Canada, who may want to know the areas you specialize on, maybe they may want to do business or ask questions, can you tell us a little bit about your area of specialty?
Okay, I think I'll expand that a little bit. Okay. I accept clients from all over the world. Okay. Yeah, so I do immigration, I do real estate, and I do family law. But like family law is basically restricted to people in Canada or who have ties to Canada. Like to family law matters in Canada, like Winnipeg specifically, or even anywhere in Manitoba, but like Winnipeg for now. And then for real estate, I can have clients from anywhere in the world, as long as they want to invest in Manitoba. That's okay. I can take them on as my client. So if you want to buy a house in Manitoba and you don't know how to go about it, you can just give us a call and we're going to help you through that process. If you also want to immigrate to Canada, wherever the person is in the world, we can help you do that. There are various kinds of immigrations, there are various immigration programs, and we help our clients navigate all the legal maze of immigration. So.
Good. Now on immigration, let me ask you, there are a lot of people who are immigration consultants. People reach out to us on this channel for immigration questions. I'm not an immigration lawyer, and sometimes I had to refer them to some people. My question is, what do you do differently?
Basically, an immigration lawyer is different from an immigration consultant in many respects, because immigration consultants are just licensed to do certain aspects of immigration, whereas an immigration lawyer can go the whole way in terms of appeal. Like an immigration consultant can do appeals, they can appear before judicial bodies or admin bodies to plead your case, so they are limited in their scope. And then immigration lawyers are regulated by the law societies, and then like we have insurance, so you're better protected when you go through an immigration lawyer than an immigration consultant. But that doesn't mean I'm putting down their role in the immigration process. But an immigration lawyer would do more than an immigration consultant can do for you. But that's not to say that they are not good, but an immigration lawyer obviously is higher than an immigration consultant.
I appreciate that enlightenment. I never thought of it that way before now. So, okay. My next question is this. I know you talk about what you did when you came to get established, but I don't know if you can break it down to more. I'm a lawyer, I'm new here in Canada, I'm planning to come, what are the step-by-step of, what I need to do to get established?
Okay, so the first step would be, I like to look at things from a wholesome point of view. So the first thing you need to do is to get into Canada first. So get your permanent resident visa to come into Canada, or even if it's a even if it's a work visa, but you have to be a permanent resident before they call you to bar.
Right.
It's a prerequisite, for you to be called to bar in Canada. So that's the first one. Then the second one would be to register with FLSC. That's the Federation of Law Societies of Canada.
Okay.
And you're gonna have to register with the body under the FLSC, which is NCA, National Committee on Accreditation for Lawyers. So they would give you a list of documents you need to send to them, which are your transcripts, your letter of good standing from your home bar, and maybe your certificates, a copy of them. Then they would assess you and tell you how many exams that you need to write. So the least you can write currently is 5 exams, and the most you can write are 11.
Okay.
So it goes anywhere from 5 to 11 exams.
Okay.
So you just need to know that depending on the jurisdiction, if you're coming from a civil law jurisdiction, you most likely have to write 11 exams or take 11 courses. If you're coming from a common law jurisdiction and you've practiced in recent times, you would probably get 5 exams. They just assess you. It's on an individual basis, so I can't say this is how many exams you're gonna get, but you can't get less than 5, you can't get more than 11. So that's it. And then after that, when you pass all your exams, you're gonna get the certificate of qualification from the NCA. I have mine right there. So they're gonna send you a certificate of qualification, and with that you would apply to the provincial bar that you hope to be licensed with. And when you apply to the provincial bar, it then depends on the province. Some provinces rather, like Ontario, would give you exams to write. Some provinces like Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan would give you you would do a bar course for 7 months. And then also there's also the article requirement. You have to article under another lawyer. That's sometimes really hard and tricky to find, so you have to start looking for that early out. You might get a position to article by volunteering. It's a big Canadian culture, like, to volunteer. So when you start off volunteering with them, and when you need an article position, they would most likely consider you. So that would be a good way to try to get articles. So you can maybe take out 5 to 10 weeks, 5 to 10 hours a month, or even it just depends on your availability, right? To decide on how you're gonna volunteer. You can volunteer for 1 or 2 firms. You don't have to restrict yourself. It just helps you get into the legal circles. It helps you gain Canadian work culture experience and all that. So, like, there's all to gain from volunteering. But these are the steps. You have to get assessed, write your exams, and pass. And then you have to apply to the province you hope to be licensed with, and then you have to do the bar course or the bar exam, and then you have to article. So there are 5 steps through the whole process.
That's good. Well, thank you for giving us a comprehensive step-by-step of what is needed to be done. I will take a short break now. Don't change your dial or leave. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. We've been talking to Iphie, and she's been, telling us about her journey in Canada. She's a lawyer. She has a law practice and her office in Winnipeg as well. So if you need to reach out to her, I will leave some details in the description. And if you want to reach out to us as well, we can always connect you to her. This is your channel once again, your Law World. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do now and turn on the notification button. Alright, so Iphie, thanks once again for being with us. All right, we'll continue with questions. So the next question would be, if you can, I mean, are there challenges that you faced when you came, and how did you navigate through some of these challenges?
Okay. When I was applying to come to Canada, I knew I needed to go through a process before I get my license, but no one told me how hard it was gonna be. Like, it was really hard to go through the licensing process when you would have to work and fend for yourself. And sometimes you find immigrants do 2 jobs trying to survive, because they have this line of bills to pay, and they still have to pay for their exams and still study for their exams and all that. So like, it was really hard. At a point, my life was triangular. It was just home, work, study, home, work, study. Yeah, that was what I was doing for 18 months. Yeah, the 18 months, because I came in April of 2017, and up until like October, even in October of 2018, I started the bar course, because I started the bar course in September. So I still had to study, because you would have all these weekly exams, and it was really hard. And then finance is a big issue for immigrants. When you come here, you have to pay all these bills. Like, sometimes you're prepared, but you're not fully prepared for what you're going to meet when you land. Like, you can have all these ideas of this is what it's going to be like, but honestly, nothing will prepare you for what you're going to meet on ground. But like, Canada is a good country, Manitoba is a wonderful province, and they're very helpful. Even strangers are willing to help you succeed. Like, I remember when I landed in Canada, in Ontario, and I was very hungry, so I went to this Thai restaurant and I bought food, and I sat down in the lounge, and this other woman who was going to Manitoba, and I said, I'm going to Winnipeg, and it's my first time in Canada and my first time in Winnipeg. And she's like, do you have warm clothes? Do you want some? I'm like, I have family there, so they're gonna provide for me. She's like, okay, here's my number, if you need anything, call me. So like, I'd started getting that hospitality from even Ontario. Like, before I even officially landed in Manitoba, in Winnipeg, people were already being nice to me. But that's not to say that we don't have mean people, but on the average, we have really nice people here, and the government is also good. They have programs like OFE, opportunities for employment, and they see doing their bit to help you, Seed and Assinaboyne, to help you succeed. So really, that was how I overcame the challenges that I had initially with licensing and coming to Canada.
Wow. So, I mean, this question is, people, we say, when you come to a place like Canada and you practice as a lawyer, where you need both, client of different, background, races and all those things. Will you still consider, based on your experience, practicing law in Canada rewarding?
Oh yes, the practice of law is very rewarding for me individually, because I love the practice of law. It's, for me, really, practicing law, like, it's non-negotiable. It's something I enjoy doing. Like, if I used to tell my mom, if I come back to this world, I'll probably be a lawyer. Over and over again. So it's something I enjoy doing. So like, I do it with all the passion that I have, and like, I don't ever think that there's a way you're going to be passionate about something and not succeed. Because your passion drives you to success. It might not be immediate, but I just know that somewhere along that path there's success.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. You spoke about different things that you do. Is there any other way that you think your firm can help immigrant or prospective immigrants who are coming to Canada?
Oh yeah. There are a lot of ways Iphie Law can help immigrants and prospective immigrants. Like sometimes we do, most times actually, we offer free legal services. So sometimes we do 10 minutes free legal services, sometimes 5 minutes. It just depends on the workload that I have. So sometimes we can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes free services, especially for lawyers who are outside Nigeria who are trying to immigrate. I'm on several groups and I offer like my advice. I feel like that's my own way of giving back. So I offer advice to people on how they can go through even the immigration process. I offer advice on that. So that's how I feel we can help people. Even sometimes you find that people come to Canada. I've met people in other professions, not necessarily lawyers, who think they can get their license in Canada, and like I always feel like I always have to tell them, no, you can do it, don't listen to anybody, look at me, I was able to do it. So to be able to even inspire people, even in the most little ways, for me is really rewarding, and that's another way of giving back to people.
That's right. Oh, thank you for that. Okay, so from what you have said, from our interactions and every other thing, I know you must be a very hardworking individual.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, can you share your daily routine with us?
Okay.
How do you start your day, go through the day, and end the day?
Okay, so basically I usually start my day at 9. I start work at 9.
Okay.
And then I sometimes take my break around 12, 1, and then usually it's a 30 minutes break, and then I come back and I work. I'm supposed to stop work at 5, but sometimes I stop work at 6, 7. My doctor has warned me against that. Last year, because I was just starting my law firm newly last year, I used to sometimes work at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just whenever I feel like, oh, I have work to do, and I didn't have that work-life balance.
Wow.
And now I'm learning how to, balance my work with my life, and I think so far so good. So I start at 9, and then I'm supposed to end at 5, or sometimes I stretch it to 7, or maybe 8 some days.
That's interesting. Like I said, it shows you are really, really hardworking and disciplined.
Yeah.
That's good. So, based on your experience, I know you've been here for maybe only 3 years.
3 years and counting.
Yeah. So, what are the pitfalls that you think people should avoid or should look out for when navigating through living in Canada? As a lawyer, too, I know you have some experience.
Yeah. I think the first mistake that immigrants should avoid making is to assume, one, that you're overqualified for any job. Because we come from, I know that we come, like, for example, we Nigerians, we have all these qualifications, and then we come here, and then we just, at the back of our minds, we assume that we are overqualified. Yeah, sometimes we are overqualified. It's not bad to think that you're overqualified, but I still feel we should have that humility to learn something new, because no matter how qualified you are, you will still find out that there are things you might need to learn, even if it's not about the field, but at least about the Canadian work culture. And then secondly, we come here and then we just assume that the work culture is the same, and then you try to apply the the skills you have in your country here, the transferability might not be that direct. You might need to have some tweakings in one or two places. So we should also have that humility to try to, because if you have that humility, you might end up being the best, because now you have the advantage of your home system, and then now you also have the Canadian system at the back of your hand. So when you merge the both, it might be an advantage. But when you come from that place of superiority, oh no, I have all these qualifications and I shouldn't be doing this. No, you have to start from somewhere. And then another thing again, people mistake that because you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, you're a master's degree holder, you're a PhD degree holder, that you can come to Canada and do certain jobs, especially when you have to go through licensure. Like honestly, I worked in a care home when I came to Canada, and I don't consider it a despicable job. I just like the practice of law better, and of course the earning is better, but that shouldn't stop you from doing that job. I was actually very fulfilled because all the clients I worked with, they were better at the time I left them than when I started with them. And it was truly fulfilling and rewarding for me. Maybe not financially, and maybe because that wasn't what I had the ultimate passion for, but it was still a job that I had to do, and I did it with an open mind. So I think we shouldn't feel a certain type of way about starting with some of these odd jobs. If you find a better job, yeah, by all means take it, but if you need to survive, you have to do certain jobs just to get you to your final destination. So
well, yeah, this has been most enlightening. I have one or two questions, before we round up. I wish we can continue, but due to time. So what will you consider your biggest motivation in life?
Oh, my biggest motivation is the fact that this is very emotional for me. Like, I've always wanted to make my dad proud and my mom proud, and unfortunately he's no longer here. But like, I'm thankful that my mom is still here and she was able to attend my call to the bar.
She came in?
Yeah, she came last year for my call to the bar, and it wasn't what I had hoped for. I was hoping that my dad was going to be here as well, because he was there for my first call to the bar in Nigeria, him and my mom, and I was hoping we were going to redo recreate the picture we had at my first call to the bar, but like that didn't happen, and it's okay. But that's the strongest motivating factor for me. And then again, I also try to be like a better version of myself every day, so that motivates me. And then I try to set these small goals for myself, so I'm always trying to meet the next goal. So I know some people might think I'm ambitious, but then I just set goals for myself. I don't think it's ambition necessarily. I just consider it goals and targets that I want to meet, and I put in the work.
Oh wow, that's interesting. And I also believe in setting goals as well. Sometimes it may look like one is driving himself too much, but I feel to achieve great things,
you have to put in the extra work.
And may the soul of your dad rest in peace.
Amen.
I know he's proud of you wherever he is now.
I hope so too. I hope so.
All right, for the final question, do you have any last word, comment you want to share with viewers, people that are watching you?
I have a lot of things to say, but I'll just try to trim it down. I'll just say, one, believe in yourself, trust the process, research on what you need to do, and tunnel vision, because I also had to tunnel vision at a certain point to the target I was hoping to achieve. So you need to be focused to get to where you're going to. Whatever you need to do, whatever type of job. I don't mean anything illegal. Whatever legal work you need to do. No work is demeaning. There's dignity in labor. So whatever thing you need to do to get you to where you're going to, don't feel like it's beneath you. There's nothing beneath you. Everything you do in this world, there's a lesson you learn, there's something you learn, there's something you take away from it. So just trust the process, be focused, do what you need to do to get you to your destination.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do what you need to do. Like Nike will say, just do it. Thank you so much, Iphie, for coming on this program today. What you share with us, I know, even for me, has been so much beneficial. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. We're glad that you were part of us today. If you have any questions for us, for Iphie, you can always reach out and we'll connect you to her. Like I said, you can check the description. You see her profile and some of her contacts if you need to reach out to her directly. Thank you once again and have a good time. Bye.